hey,
Andrew,
have you managed to edit the thing? Oh yeah, I did it.
uh,
Don't worry. Status report.
please, I love Andrew, but I find it hilarious how you haven't done yet, but they didn't fucking save, and then he just does a table flip with
No,
Muscle Man.
my favorite one is when he's like, I was using one program, didn't work, so I'm using another program, and I'm like, bro, how many programs do you have?
He
It's
is
like
very
maybe all the
committed.
programs are just slowing your computer, and that's why they're not working.
No, I think he does it on phone
Yeah,
until he gets on the computer because he gets frustrated for the devices on the phone.
I love that man.
Oh
Lizzie,
man!
oh yeah,
And then
shows
Lizzie
about
just
Liz.
comes out of nowhere, and Lizzie's like, "Did you do this?" And then Andrew's like, "No, that's why."
And then Lizzie sends me like a 3 GB fucking file that I
Oh
gotta upload.
Jesus! Oh yeah! Oh, so the first podcast we got her to edit, right? She took a
Yeah.
little while. Eventually, the first one she sent, somehow the beginning of the podcast was in the middle. So we're talking about like fairy tale, and then all of a sudden it's the very beginning. And then Miss Spider was like, "Wait, what?"
Wait, at the beginning where we're making fun of Craig?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then she was like, "Oh wait, let me fix it." And then she sends one, and it's literally like 3 GB. And we're like, "Wait, is this like 4K audio?"
Hey, funny enough, she did just send me one yesterday that I uploaded. That was 2.4 GB. It took an hour to process on YouTube because that shit. I don't. I hope it looks like we're sitting next to the people because I don't understand how it's 4 GB.
Oh boy! Well, I got my chicken strips. Spidey's got his sandwich, and well, King, he
King,
he,
he has
King
his
already
betrayed
pie.
us. He
King
betrayed
has his
us.
pie. All right, so with that lovely conversation where we make fun of the editors out of the way,
We love you guys.
King appreciates the help because he's tired of editing.
I am pretty tired.
So
Okay.
let us begin. This week it is July 29th. Obviously, we record earlier, and if there's technical issues,
You know
it
who
takes
to
about a
blame
week.
now.
It takes about a week or two to release, but we try to, as Dav said last time, we're going bi-weekly just to have more content to talk about instead of kind of dragging along the podcast. And with that, welcome to the Sorcerer Weekly Podcast, episode number 8. I'm joined as always by Dav and the Betrayer, King of Uncool.
I mean, the technical word would be traitor, but don't hesitate to change up the English language.
Betrayer sounds more menacing.
English isn't his first language. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
rude.
fair enough.
God.
We still teach them English. We have English lessons in the staff chat each day.
Keep it up, Dav. Keep it up.
So, boys, what have you been doing for the last 2 weeks? Let's hear it.
Playing with myself. No, I'm just
Oh my days! See, this there's a lot of stuff that you can share with friends, and there's a lot of stuff that you can always talk about. It's always good to
Not
let
all
your
of it
friends know how
necessarily
you're
needs to be
doing.
recorded, though.
And some stuff doesn't need to be shared. So whatever you do, right, in your spare time, right, when we're busy pinging you because we want to ask you something, and you're like, hold up. 20 minutes later, you come back. All right, I'm not busy anymore. Whatever you do in that 20 minutes, don't want to know, especially not on a podcast.
Yeah, what he said.
I'll let King go first, and then you could go, and then I'll say.
I don't have a whole lot of things to say. A couple of weeks ago, I successfully made fried chicken sandwiches at home, Chick-fil-A style, so that was really nice. They tasted not quite as good as they would be if I got them at Chick-fil-A, but they were considerably bigger because I made sure to use properly sized chicken breast. So I'm very happy with myself. Not as happy with myself as Spidey apparently is, considering his early message, but pretty happy. So yeah, that was honestly the most significant thing that I'd be willing to share. Dav, how about you?
See, I'm very glad you didn't tell me about what you do when you read Worlds in Harlem. That's good. Thank you. Not a lot work starting up soon, so I've been in and out the office trying to get things ready. Looking forward to going back to work because of routine, but at the same time, I've enjoyed lockdown because I ain't had to do shit. Still got could do whatever I wanted, so it wasn't too bad. But the routine is going to be nice again, and actually getting properly paid again. That's one thing I've missed. So I'm trying to get through as much of the anime and manga as I can before I don't have time.
What about that bike incident?
So I'm all fucking way home. Right. So just a picture, let's put an image in everyone's head, right? So when I walk down the fucking pathway, yeah, or as you lot in America, a sideway, yeah, there's a little alleyway. Now, the way the alleyway is set up, right, for some reason my government's just so stupid. They're like, we're not going to cut any trees or shrubbery just because we don't need to, because, it's not a safety hazard. The way the shrubbery is, you can't see around the corner at all until it's literally too late. So anyway, I'm walking, right, and when I get to this area, I always take my headphones off, right, so I can listen to hear anything, yeah? Couldn't hear anything. Cool, so I carry on walking. This guy comes around a fucking corner, fucking a million miles an hour on his fucking bicycle, yeah, and a fat fuck himself, rides over my fucking foot, and just goes. And I'm just stood there like, you fucking dickhead. And he's gone. So now I'm like, alright. And bicycles don't have fucking number plates, so it's not like I can fucking go like, oh, is this fucking bicycle number 2842? Fucking owner is flipping Kuro. No. Alright. So now I'm limping the last 10 minutes on the way home. Instead of being 10 minutes, it's 20 minutes. Alright. Get home and I sit down and I look at my foot. I'm like, this fucking hurts. So I'm like, cool, let me go make food. I can't even stand at the fucking oven without it hurting. So now I'm just in a bad mood because my fucking foot it may as well be broken. I know it's not, but it fucking hurts. I hate cyclists. I hate them all. Cycle on the fucking road, not the fucking pavement, sidewalk, whatever you want. You don't call it.
You let it all out? You're okay now?
Yeah, I'm good. Fucking idiot.
Well, what I've been doing over the last few weeks,
No, you've already said your piece. I don't think we want to hear any more stories about you pleasuring yourself.
No, I'll be serious. I've just been playing Ghost of Tsushima. It's an incredible game. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do. It's it's not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say it's Assassin's Creed, but good for those who like Assassin's Creed. It's so incredibly amazing, and you feel like you're in the world and you're immersed in there. But besides playing Ghost of Tsushima, I've been kind of remodeling the Discord a bit, just because I want to. We're near 8,000, so I kind of want to give it a sense of more structure, if that's even possible. Because a lot of times people, and I've said this before, but I'm getting tired of people saying I'm Hiro Mashima in the server. It started off as a funny meme, kind of like Who's Rem, but then it just got so repetitive and so freaking annoying. I'd get people DMing me in Japanese, and I'm like, what? English, motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Well, you almost got multiple DMs today. If I didn't, someone in chat was like, "Oh, is there a way to contact Hero to maybe speak to him about rewriting the end of Fairy Tail?" And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And then people obviously
Dude, I get questions
Spider-Man
on the Fairy Tail Wiki Twitter all the fucking time, like that, asking me "Hey, are you guys making another season? Are you adapting the 100-year quest?" Following which I'm usually like, "Yeah, here's this tweet we made on April 1st about adapting the 100-year quest." So that's always nice interaction, but it's still pretty annoying. And also about we get questions about Eden Zero as well. Hey, are you guys adapting Eden Zero? I'm like, well, okay, that one actually is happening, but still.
Yeah, no, the person wanted to rewrite it, and it's like, if we do this or this or this, and like it'll be better. So I think Hero should do it. And so everyone's like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's Hero, and then I saw it and I was like, oh no. I said no, let's not do that because I know what's going to happen. You're going to DM it, and then you're going to get banned, and then you're going to get banned for telling him that it's Hero, and you're going to get banned for agreeing with it, and then I'm going to get the shit for not stopping it.
Yeah, it like I said, it was fun the first few times. Then the 100 times, it's like, oh, okay, get it over it. Then the 1,000 time, you're like, dude, just stop. It's time to stop.
It's gotten old.
So I did revamp the server moderation. We do have aids now that'll help the mods, just because I know the mods can't always. I don't know what's funny.
Don't worry about it. Me being immature.
Oh yeah, you have aids.
Hey, that's racist. Just because I'm African. Wow.
Anyway, we got support staff that are helping the server moderators with activity amongst the new users.
Who are doing a great job.
They're doing a very good job. They're incredible. Some training mods need to get their shit together. They're probably not even going to listen to the podcast. That doesn't matter because I'm going to say their name. They know who they are. Category mods are basically mods, but I want them focused on a certain thing. Then we have the server-wide mods who basically just handle the rest of the set channels. So basically try to break it down because there's 8,000 users and about 200 or so are active.
Give or
participants.
Take, yeah.
And by active, I don't mean people who lurk to chat or like react or stuff like that.
People who talk quite often.
Yeah, correct. So I'm trying to find a way to engage these other users and get them to interact. Just because a more lively community is always better. It's always fun. Gives people new perspectives, new things to talk about. So there's that. I am gonna add the food channel sometime this week.
Oh, we actually getting that?
Yeah, you're getting that.
We don't even know if you listened to these, but we succeeded. Our hour-long talk of food in the anime series channel worked.
I think
we should do a podcast for food.
We were gonna do one, but somebody ate their fucking lunch.
First of all, I was talking about an actual podcast about
not saying any names.
Not a fairy tale podcast where we're constantly being interrupted by the sound of my chewing.
That ASMR.
Hey bro, people could like that shit. Who knows? Maybe it'll give us like 1,000 views or something.
I'm not here. Like if you guys want to make money off of ASMRs of my chewing, you got to pay me for that shit.
Bro, you'll get like 10%. There we go.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna start an OnlyFans.
Tell you what. I'll open the account for you. Yeah. I'll do all the legwork. All you gotta do is chew. Okay, and we split it 60-40. Yeah, I'll do all the legwork. All you gotta do is chew. That's all you gotta do. Is just chew different types of food. And when we get that message saying, "Can they chew a sandwich with peanut butter on for me?" I'll message him like, "Yo, make a peanut butter sandwich and chew it." Even if you're allergic to it, you still gotta do it because that's money.
That's a good point. I'll contemplate it. Just as long as they're not asking me to like make video of like cucumber or eggplant or any of that shit, because that seems to be going in a different direction.
Yeah, but it's not a video. It's just like a sound recording.
It depends.
He's into it, Dad. He's into it. You gotta.
What the harm is getting to him?
But going off of that beautiful tangent, I've just been tired of having to. I don't know. I've just been tired of server moderating, or not moderating, but organizing. Because I just want to chill and be a troll like I usually am. So I'm thinking that when I'm done with all these changes, which will probably be once I do the mod reviews, I'll probably just go back to trolling. Having fun.
Guys, nice knowing you.
Yeah, because they're going to ban the server owner.
I was talking about myself. I said nice knowing you to everyone in the server.
Well, everybody who stayed is already reassigned, so they know what they're doing.
Oh, phew. Ooh, sweating over here.
But yeah, other than that, Fairy Tail game comes out this Friday, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, that's about what I've been doing. I have been reading. I lied. I haven't been reading anything. So yeah, that's about it. What about you guys? What have you been reading or watching?
I can't read, so that's out the window.
Makes sense.
Princess Connect. Sure, you guys have seen us talk about that in server, especially Taylor, Jinx, Eco, myself.
Princess Reconnect, you mean? You jackass. Not
No,
Princess Connect.
no.
Oh, Princess Connect Redive. Yeah, you're
Dive,
right.
yeah, jackass.
Yeah.
All right. That's really good for those of you who haven't seen it. It's from the
It's
same people who did
Konosuba.
Konosuba. Really enjoyable. The characters are like all lovable the same way in Konosuba they all were. Aqua best girl, but
Yeah, Aqua's
the
useless.
story, in my opinion, is better. Granted, though, I haven't gone further than season one because, like I said, I don't read, can't read. I'm illiterate. But I
It's a
recommend
game.
everyone to try that out. There is a game for it. It looks adorable. I want to try it out.
Of course you
What the? I'm sick of your shit.
do.
Shake my head. But yeah, you'll see a lot of us talk about it in server, and then I can't remember what else I've been
Goblin
watching.
Slayer. Have you been
Oh, yeah.
watching? Did you watch the Goblin Slayer movie?
No, not yet, because I only just recently watched the anime. I watched the anime like last week.
What
That
did
was
you think
good.
of the anime?
I enjoyed it. The first
Yeah,
2 or 3 episodes, I was kind of like, apart from that scene, I was kind of like,
yeah. There's a
where's this
very
going?
yeah.
And
So
then
for
it
those
got
who
more
don't know,
interesting.
the first episode has a very graphic scene. Um, very grotesque scene, but it's done in a way where
If
it's
you want to
just
find out more detail, just like go onto Twitter and search tweets from when the show initially aired because it totally broke the anime Twitter community back then.
Yeah, because
or
it
just go
literally
to
came out of nowhere.
or just go to YouTube and look it up. But in my opinion, it wasn't done in a way where it was trying to glorify it, but more showing you the dangers of the world or of that universe, that world. So
Yeah,
I didn't like the fact that it happened, but I kind of understood where they were coming from. Plus, Goblin Slayer totally murdered the shit out of them afterwards. So I was like, all right, you bitches got what you deserved.
and to be fair, the way the goblins are in the show are very akin to. So that the show, like from what I gather, is very D&D esque, and in D&D, the way they behave there is basically how they behave in D&D lore. So it's pretty accurate.
Yes, sir.
But I enjoyed it. I do want to watch the movie. I probably will watch it before I go back to work if I can. Another thing is, what's it called? Malgakui? I don't know how you say it. The Misfit of the Demon King Academy. That shit's hilarious.
That shit, I don't
Shit
know if
is.
I don't know if that's like One Punch Man, where it's making fun and it's a satire of the genre, or if the guy, or if it's so good that it's actually good. It's so bad that it's actually good.
I think it's actually pretty good, but it's also I take it in the stride of the One Punch Man side of it because you see this guy come out of nowhere, right? And then he goes to school, and some guy who seems like a big shot tries to chat shit to him, and the guy gets
He's,
clapped.
yeah,
And the
he
guy just
does.
gets clapped like no questions asked. It's just like, you know what? It's like when Saitama goes to the shop, man just wants his potatoes, and then the mole people come out of nowhere. It's like, no, I just want my potato. It's the same kind of
He
idea.
did.
This guy just, he wants to get on with what he needs to do, and people are trying to fucking be stupid. So he's just like, no, stop, stop.
It's time to stop. Like I said, it
Yeah,
is time to stop.
I think it's very comical.
Yeah.
The characters are great, and the main character is actually really. I think it's quite simply written, but it's so effective as to who he is. And I think the more we learn about him, the more he's going to become more complex. But I think it's going to be really great. So I recommend people just try that out. But yeah. Oh,
What
Rent a
about
Girlfriend.
you? Oh, Rent a Girlfriend, yes.
That's really enjoyable. Chizuru. The main character, I'm not a fan of him yet, but I think I might be. Mommy's a bitch. Fuck mommy.
The main character, I'm gonna tell you this: you either love him or you hate him.
So there's no in
There's,
between. All right.
there really is no in between. Um, he does have some massive character growth, character development over the series. But you land on one or two areas. You like the guy, or you don't like the guy. It's not like yeah. No, it's like for some reason it's always that, and then for some reason, mommy had or mommy, whatever the fuck her stupid name is, she has a fan base for some reason. So yeah,
Because some people just like to be beta.
yeah, no thanks. What so yeah, we're kind of going on a tangent on animes. So before we continue with that tangent, King, have you watched anything or read anything? And this was brought to you by King.
Sorry, I was reading Twitter. Apparently, one of the top trending topics is called demon semen, and I'm just curious about what that's all about. So I was just reading through that. So anyway, in terms of anime, I'm very curious about Rent a Girlfriend. I haven't actually read it, but I want to read it. It does seem interesting. When I saw like a review of the first episode, that makes it seem like it's a kind of funny show, kind of Orisuki, I believe it was, that aired last year. So I'd like to check that out. I am watching the reboot of the Digimon Adventure anime
Yes.
because that came out. So the Tri series came out in 2015, finished in 2017. So I watched all the movies and I was like, oh, this is not very good, but it could be a lot worse. And I mean, I like the characters well enough because that's what I like grew up watching and stuff. So like the reboot so far is okay. I mean, it's not as magically adventurous as the original series was, but it's also like 2020, so like there's been a lot more stuff done in the genre. I am also going to so it's a continuation of an anime that got halted because of Corona, but the latest season of Food Wars, which is always something that interests me. It's adapting, so like it's adapting a story arc in the manga, the final story arc that is pretty universally reviled for justifiable reasons. But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm already this far. I may as well watch it. I don't, I'm not totally on the hate train, though I definitely do not like this particular arc for very similar reasons to why other people dropped the series. But I'm just in the mood to go on with it anyway. Aside from that, I'm not really watching any other anime at the moment. In fact, what I am watching is, just a bunch of like sitcoms. If anybody has not seen the Netflix TV show Lucifer, definitely go watch that
good.
because
dude, it's so amazing.
And season 5 is coming out near the end of August. And that one's so that one's looking
August
to be
21st.
a really so it's looking to be like a really good season. I'm very curious about it, and like I've already rewatched the series like probably 2 or 3 times ish by now, and I just go back and watch a random episode every once in a while. It's one of those shows that's really nice to have on and just have a laugh about. Like the main character, like he's just so perfect. There needs to be an anime about a person similar to that, but
Tom
that's
Ellis
generally
Tom Ellis is great.
Yeah, Tom Ellis
does
is
the role
awesome.
so well.
He is so fucking amazing.
To give you guys a bit of a perspective about how good he is in the role, I think he's almost like a TV version of how good Robert Downey Jr. is as Iron Man. That's like the level of how the actor fits the character.
It's perfect. It's perfect how he fits it, and it's been perfect since the get go. He didn't have to go into the. He didn't have to like build into the character. Just flat
like
episode 1.
Scene,
it was hilarious. I can't get enough of Lucifer.
I just love how he made this entity that is seen as pure evil and pure hatred and gave it a twist.
Made it as loving.
Where it's like, I'm supposed to be evil, but it's not my choice. It's because blah blah. blah. It does play into the Christianity mythology, but it's done in a way where it's not trying to be disrespectful to it, but rather.
Well, yeah, it's more like a modern take, and like credit to the writers as well, because the adaptation's really heavily about them. Like the actors are all like perfect in their own way, but like the whole staff has really worked together.
Douche.
Detective douche. And that's a joke that never gets old in the show. That's from season 1, episode like 2, from like season episode like 2, I think. And it was every single episode.
Douche.
In fact, they chose the actor for Detective Deuce, didn't they, from the pilot episode?
So what happened there was they originally had a different actor, and the scenes they shot with him have been like re-edited, reshot with the new actor. So like you'll basically
Good.
never see the original actor unless you like go look at the old scenes up on like YouTube or something.
That's perfect because the new detective douche, his name is Dan. He he's great.
He's actually
You
such
could
a good character.
Oh yeah, he's a really nice, fun like guy to have on the show.
he's not he is a douche. He is a
He's
Oh
douche.
no,
just sick of
he is,
everyone's
but like I'm
shit.
saying, he's a fun character. Like you like it. He's not like douchey in like the anime douche way, and he's just a fun guy.
Yeah.
But
Every time
it's
something
so clear
happens,
why Lucifer like likes to mock him and stuff.
every time something happens, he's just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm sick of this shit. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
do something.
He's like, fuck it. All right, we've tangented enough, but before we finish our tangent, you guys should also check out Oregaru Snafu. It's the final season. Yui is best girl, but she will not win because doormats need a chance and hope.
Hey,
And then we got
need help.
and then we got ReZero season 2 with everybody simping over Echidna.
Say
But
Echidna.
I don't fucking know how to say her name.
Echidna, bro, isn't Echidna like fucking Knuckles from Sonic?
Maybe it's the
Echidna?
same thing.
Echidna, I don't know. She's a witch or some bullshit. I don't know. I'm an anime only. I just know she was sipping tea and everybody's all over her ass, simping her hard. So that was a fun little recap of what you guys should watch, what we've been doing. Yeah, her dev, her, yeah.
Oh fuck.
So let's get on to the news. News this week, it's not much, but obviously the Fairy Tail game comes out on the 31st, which is probably way later than this podcast will be posted. And there's already confirmed DLC for it. And it's costumes as well as 4 characters. So, Dav, do you have the list of the characters? Or shall I call it?
I can. Nah, you pull out because I'm reading about this demon seaman. I'm not gonna lie.
So we got 4 confirmed characters: Leon, Levi, Lasana, and Alfman. So they're going to be playable characters available on the 6th of August. And we also have the 3 costume packs: Anime Final Season, Variety, and the Special Swimsuit. So there's 16 costumes in each pack. So I'm guessing per pack, each pack has a costume for each person because there's gonna be 16 total playable characters. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys like that DLC, or do you think they should have done something else?
I like it.
I'm very happy with the addition of the special swimsuits package, so I have no complaints to make.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I like
For
it.
those who haven't seen it, one of the special swimsuit costumes is Lucy's from Ryuzetsu Land, the 298th chapter of the manga. So that's a very nice one.
that's so creepy. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just mad to memorize a chapter. And oh my god. Okay. Oh, Dev. Transition to our next topic, since that's about it for the news, unless there's anything else.
No, as far as I'm aware, that's all the game news that really
Can I
out.
just can I mention one thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what 2 things actually? For those who haven't seen it, there's a thing called picture mode that's going to be part of the game. So they're actually going to reveal more details on August 6th when the other stuff drops. So basically, it's kind of a Pokemon Snap kind of thing, if for whoever might have played that. So you can,
Ooh.
snap various
Oh,
funny moments. One of the moments that they tweeted was like Ichiya showing up, I think, in Lucy's room, which is interesting.
Well, Ichiya is he's the man.
So the reason I'm not sure is like because it seems to be her room, but like she's not actually there. It's Natsu, Urza, Wendy, and Sting, which who are not 4 characters who've ever been together, so this might just be a random thing from someplace else. And also for the release date, I don't know, you guys might already know this, but like it's releasing officially on the 31st of July, but it's actually releasing on the 30th if you're buying it on Steam. So
29th.
that's
It's releasing today.
well, I mean, that's not what their tweet says.
No, it's
I mean, unless
literally
it's the
releasing in less
Japanese
than 9
timeline.
hours.
All right. Tell you what. One of you buy it for me on Steam, and I'll tell you.
It's on. Well,
I mean, if
it's
I bought it on Steam, I'd be able to figure it out myself.
No,
Then I
I'm
can do
telling
that
you,
for you.
I looked up the thing because somebody was complaining about the specs. I had posted on the Koei Tecmo thread for the Reddit,
Uh-huh.
and the game literally comes out 9 hours from now.
Well, 9
But let me-
hours
let- let
from
me
now
just-
would be
all right,
like technically the 30th in the Eastern American time zone.
All right.
So,
Let me just open up the goddamn fucking.
like, I've
Steam.
got their tweet right in front of me, and it was
My
posted 3
my
hours
boy.
ago.
Game
Oh
will
my
unlock
God.
in 4 hours.
4 hours, nigga.
4 hours.
That shit is still
Yep.
29th, bruh.
Bitch, you
Game
said it was
will-
9 hours.
Game will unlock
9
in
hours.
4 hours.
9 hours when I looked it up, which was 5 hours ago.
Well, you didn't mention that part.
You didn't specify. You didn't ask. I just
I
told you what I
specified my
did.
part.
Rude.
So who's gonna? Yo, does someone wanna 50? It's 55
So
pounds.
does one of us still have to buy it?
55 pounds.
I-
Yeah. Because if you see, so you let me do it, right? Okay, I've got the better computer and I can make sure that it runs properly and
That's true. Yours is probably better than mine.
you know.
You know what, you Dev? You know what you could do is you could join the giveaway on the server.
I did. normally I wouldn't. I never take part in like stuff like this, but I can't afford the game myself, so I'm like, right.
You know what? You know what? Honestly, you should, because there's less than 100 people who are available or
Oh, no,
able to get the.
I have joined. I wasn't going to, but I decided last night.
You have, yeah. There's only like 50 people who are applying for the stupid giveaway.
Yeah, don't
It's
worry.
not
I'm in there.
It's not a stupid giveaway. It's a cool giveaway.
Don't worry, I'm
Sponsored
in there.
by the community, and one game sponsored by the community, one game sponsored by me. But yeah, it's only like 44 people. I was like, I'm not sure if I should be offended or should be happy for these 44 people because their chances just went way up.
See,
Kinda weird.
it's nice that there's not too many people, but because it also shows the amount of people that the people who actually tried to get to that point, as well as those who tried and then failed. Because how many times when you first announced it, how many people just started talking for the sake of it, right? And then they just stopped because they realized that the levels were too far away, even though it wasn't really. And they had like 4 months.
What I'm gonna start doing though is making it so you have to at least be an Oasis Islander. It's a rank system for those who don't know. Oh, it's the second lowest behind the Milden Academy. I'm gonna make them
warriors.
no, because Oasis is like 10, and what I'm thinking of doing is if enough people continue contributing, every time there's a release of a volume, we do a giveaway for it. Obviously, it'll be digital, but if they wanted physical, they could get a physical. Digital would be easier because digital came out. Like the digital version of Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest Volume 5 already came out, but the physical copy isn't out till like August 11th. So I might just do digital instead of physical. But that way, it's not necessarily everyone, but those who are actually trying to contribute to the server, because it's really easy to get like level 10. You gotta do is talk for like less than a day, and you're good.
That's why you shouldn't be part of it. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not a part of it.
I'm saying that's why they shouldn't be part of the giveaway.
Oh, it's well. I mean, people might only be there to talk Eden Zero or Fairy Tail, so that's fine with me.
That's true.
But anyway, let's talk Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Chapter 60. Finish the sentence for me.
One.
Cool. Chapter 61. Title
Thicket of
is
Arms.
Thicket of Arms.
With a
Dev.
nice. Let me just right click, save image as.
That is okay. Dav, go ahead and give us a little recap of the chapter.
Okay. I've seen a lot of people talking about this chapter recently and saying that they feel like it's a little bit of a waste of a chapter. Don't necessarily agree, but we'll get to that. So it starts off Thicket of Arms. Nice little cover picture of
Lucy
Lucy's
in a
bikini.
bikini. Booty.
And you got the cardboard cut out in the back on the left, and you got the barmaid as well. Starts off with a nice, actually quite a nice shot we have of what's his name, Alderaan, calling out his attack. Thicket of
Thicket of
Arms.
arm.
And essentially what it is, it's basically man just starts shooting a bunch of thorns. And they are I don't know if any of you seen that match, My Hero season 4, but what's his name? Overhaul,
You
when
know,
he's breaking up the ground and the fucking spikes are coming out. That's basically what's happening here. Bunch of thorns just flying.
Just think Urza with her swords attacking.
Yeah, but it's thorns. Natsu does quite somewhat of a good job dodging it, but you couldn't keep it up because it is a barrage and it's coming out of nowhere. It's a little bit comical as well. Good old Natsu's faces. The issue arises when the people on the outside start experiencing this hail of thorns as well. We've got our Gigantamax Gargiel, who manages to protect them using a steel body, but obviously there's only so much my man can cover. And a lot of the rest of the cast start feeling the hail of the thorns actually come close to hitting them. A few of them actually do get hit. And then we actually see what Brandish's... Well, we see Brandish's power wear off with the Gigantamax. Was it 3 minutes the limit?
Yeah. We also got to remember the giant dagger Gajil took to the chest.
See, that's the part where I'm a bit like, did it go
How's he
through him or did
alive?
it not?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused too because if it went through,
Because to me, it looks like he went small after already gone through him. But if you look at the way it's drawn, right, especially if you look at, I can just screenshot it.
yeah.
So
And
if you look at that where it's going into him, it kind of, instead of looking like a piercing wound, it kind of looks like a phasing kind of thing. As I don't know if you like in the Flash when my man goes through walls, he phases and it starts fucking going blurry. That's what that kind of looks like. So that to me looks like it could be that's where Brandish's power is going off.
Yeah.
But I still,
Or maybe it did go through, but since he was shrinking down, the wound got smaller.
But I feel like regardless, like he would still have that wound. He doesn't have that wound later on in the chapter. So I mean, if we carry on through the chapter, he goes down, Brandish is still eating a cake, he's like, time's up, and everyone's like, oh no, God, you and then he fucking falls to the ground and he's like, oh, that was close. Then you see him. There's no indication that he's got a goddamn hole in his body.
This is true.
The ground shatters from, I assume, Alderaan's attack. All the hail of thorns causing that. Oh no, he fired that. Oh no, he fired one massive thorn, and it just caused the ground to shatter. So I mean, we're starting to see the simplicity. Like I remember saying that Alderaan seems very simple, and we're seeing it here. My man's just a wood dragon, so he's just using thorns and just firing it out. I quite like it though. And Panther Lily obviously gives him a little bit of shit, but you couldn't beat him, could you? It's like no one could be anything that big. And the second wave of thorns come. Loxus and Urza show up.
And then we got Jalal showing up out of nowhere and being like, over here, come over here. The part that got me the most was the whole I'll protect Wendy with my life, Toka too. Yeah, but what is this
but what's with this cat? Never mind, let's just go.
I just found it I just found that hilarious because it's like, yo, motherfucker is really busting a mess. Cool, cool, cool.
The other thing I have a feeling, I don't think these thorns have any kind of magic to them. I feel like they're just thorns because people are getting hit by them. All right. I mean, Loxus gets one into his shoulder, but he kind of just goes, ah, ow. Right. I
And we
feel if
got
there was some kind of magic to it, it would be a lot worse than it actually is. So I feel like there's no
mm,
magical power boosting it. I think it's just literally like a normal thorn, just obviously times 10 in size.
well, it is a normal thorn because if you go to the next few pages, you see Lucy getting attacked by one in the thigh area, which is cut, and then we have Natsu trying to punch it away, but
And it
you
just
have the
pierces him.
it just pierces. That shit looks disgusting.
It's well drawn though.
That's why it looks disgusting.
So I mean, it
And then
doesn't
my
even look like it's got any magic attribute to it,
mhm.
which I think is really cool. I like that.
And then we got my boy getting crucified like crazy with all those
Oh,
piercings.
dude, that reminded me of a scene from My Hero with the fight with Overhaul, as well as there's a scene in Fate Apocrypha. I saw I'm like, someone's getting impaled left and right. And then so Natsu just gets completely fucking impaled. The dude is just, if you've seen Seven Deadly Sins, is Barn in the prison.
And
And
then,
Natsu uses a bit of his brain. Well, I say he uses his brain. He just turns up the heat and realizes fire works on it. And he says his famous line, I'm finally getting fired up. The chapter, to me, it was an enjoyable chapter, but I do feel like it was a bit lackluster. But I feel like it's set up next chapter, and next chapter is the one that's going to be the crazy one.
Natsu looks demonic.
All right, Shiki, calm down.
He does. Well, I mean, this my
No,
boy
he
is a
does. He does. He looks. He's happy with himself. He's like, yo, I got this figured out, fam. I got
he
a plan.
looks like when he fought Jackal and he figured out how to consume the explosions without actually hurting
Yeah,
himself out too much. That level of demonicness is like, okay, I see you, Natsu. I see you.
it's the light bulb clicking in his head. I do like that when not so. I mean, it's the same when he thought to use Zareth. Didn't look demonic, but you could see the smug look on his face, like, hey, yo, I've got a plan. I know what I'm doing.
He's like, you fuck now, boy.
So I'm excited for this because I feel like I said, I feel like the chapter's a little bit lackluster, but it's definitely set up a lot. I mean, Gargel's gone small. What's going to happen there now? These thorns that just fly. How are the guild going to deal with that? I feel like a lot of the guild shouldn't struggle with it. Gargel's got his steel form. Like I said, there's no magical attribute to it. It's just a physical thing, in my opinion. Juvia shouldn't be affected by it. She'll just go, ooh, water. Boom. She's fine. Urza's got the shields.
Um,
Everyone else is useless. Well, Levy
Lucy's
could
not
just
useless.
write in the fucking sky, shield, and then boom, sorted.
She could just raise shelter
Well, exactly.
and
Steel
that's
dome. Done.
uh King, what did you think of the chapter?
I pretty much agree with Dav. I didn't think there was anything particularly special about the chapter, so I understand why a lot of people thought it was boring. That for the most part, it is just this Alderon using what effectively looks like a pin missile attack, or like a porcupine shooting its quills all over the place to hit various members. I mean, really, the thing that I thought most interesting was the part where Urza and Laxus were running away. Laxus got hit, and then Jalal is clearing a path for them, which would suggest that the uh, personality or whatever of Alderon that he defeated was actually defeated, because back when that chapter was released, we were actually suspecting that maybe he didn't because it was a little bit ambiguous, but this seems to suggest that that seed is dead and that the three of them will move on to another area. really the chapter is just kind of everybody feeling the effects of Alderon's whatever. It's not as egregious or whatever as when everybody felt the effects of Larcade's spell, because that one was fascinating.
Orgasm magic.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't terribly have many things to say about it. I suspect that the God Seed that Natsu is fighting will probably be defeated in the next chapter.
Well,
And it will
that's the
be
final seed, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the chapter. I didn't have anything in particular to say about it.
All right. So King thinks that the seeds will be ended next chapter. Dav, do you think that's gonna happen, or do you think there's still gonna be a chapter after that regarding Algernon and the seeds?
See, I want to say that I hope that it's not going to be as easy to defeat him, and I don't think it is. So I'm going to say it's not. But I think the last he's going to get completely clapped out, right? But he's gonna. I have a feeling the big old Ron, after the seed is gone, he's gonna turn into a smaller form. So remember with what's his name? Was it Mercophobia or whatever his name was? The water slayer, the water god.
Yeah.
He had a human form, right?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen the human form of Alderaan at all, and it hasn't been mentioned either. I have a feeling that's going to come out, and that's going to be the main fight. Because I mean, we know each of them have a human form, or we can assume they do, because Mercophobia does. What's his name does? Natsu's brother Igneo.
Sylvana.
Serena,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Serene. Some bullshit.
Yeah, Serene.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got one, so he must have one. And I think that's what. So I think this seed's going to get defeated, and then Big Old is going to be like, "Oh shit, better be serious." And then that's when he's going to kind of change form. And I think Natsu, because he's inside of him, right? I think that's going to have an effect. I think Natsu's going to be trapped, and it's going to give Alden some kind of power, and then they got to go in and save him.
That'd be crazy. Going off of what you said, Dav and King, I kind of agree. This chapter didn't really have much in terms of the giant spectacle and all that, but it did kind of, what do you call it? The super powered brandish by actually giving her time limit a thing. Because what I thought was gonna happen was Gaja was gonna stay giant form until the end of the arc. But it's kind of cool to see that they actually she only has a 3 minute thing, and boom, time's up. Natsu being inside Alderaan still confuses me, because it's like, what are you doing, guy? Just beat him already. But at the same time, if he beats him too fast, the fandom will complain that
The fight was
Natsu,
too quick. And he's too
yeah.
OP.
And then they'll be like, "Well, Natsu always gets the final fight," and it's like that. But no, I Jalal's being cut because he's little. But I did like the chapter for what it was. I'm hoping next chapter Natsu uses his thought projection magic. So, not much more to add to that fairy tale under your quest chapter. We should have probably said where we read the chapter. So there's two places where we read it. We read it in Manga Dex, and we also read it on the sorcererweekly.com/reader. That's where you could find the chapter, the latest chapter. You could support the official release by buying the volumes when they release on Comixology or Amazon.
Okay,
But
your
yeah,
local comic book store.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, there's really not much more to talk about the chapter predictions. There's really nothing. I do think Jerza is gonna happen next week for some reason. Because we have Jalal there. He conveniently shows up at the end. when the chapter before we had Loxus talking about Urza's boyfriend. So I kind of see them kind of being made a thing officially. So
I see them being
but
made a thing, but not quite yet.
do you see it happening before the arc ends or after it ends?
I see it happening as the arc ends.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think the next chapter is going to be Natsu and the Seed, and then the Seed's going to do his thing. And then the chapter after that is going to be the beginning of the final fight, like sort of the human form. That
Okay.
might go for 2, maybe 3 chapters, I kind of hope. And
Okay.
then Jalal will do some heavenly body magic, and Urza will be like, ooh.
That's his only magic.
I mean, it's the only magic that really matters. I like that magic. I like the heavenly body. It looks cool.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Jalal, but we've we don't need to get into it.
Yeah,
King.
we've spread the butter on that toast.
I want toast.
King, how far into Eden Zero have you gotten? Oh, did King leave the chat? He's asking about Eden Zero. Gotta go.
Not far enough.
Where did he get to?
Literally chapter like 16.
Oh, one chapter. Okay. So not much. See, because I want to get your impressions of chapter 82.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ways away, so I will eventually get to it. But yeah,
How's the? Are you planning on buying the fairy tale game?
Myself? Okay.
No, not you. I don't care about you.
I know you don't care.
I care about you, Dav. But when it comes to buying the fairy tale game, I don't currently plan on it. I don't think I have a laptop that's good enough to run it, and I don't actually have a gaming system, and I don't have the money to blow.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna say, wait, Dev, how far into Rave Master have you gotten?
I haven't been reading much more because I've been trying to watch all the stuff that I had a chance. Because manga is something that I can read on my way to work while walking.
King, how well versed in Rave Master are you?
I mean, pretty well versed. I mean, I like the series. I think it's the best one Mishima's done.
All right, so we'll do this, Dev. If you finish Rave Master within 2 weeks,
And that ain't
I will
happening.
get you. You listen to what I'm offering. I will. If you do not win the giveaway, which I doubt you will, I will buy you the fairy tale. If you finish the Rave Master series.
Where's Dropbox? Let me put the manga that you gave me into my Dropbox.
And
Manga
if
is the
you
best
do,
motivator.
and if you do win the giveaway, I will get you the DLC that comes out on August 6th. If you read all of Rave Master.
I mean, if he has a 2-week time limit, I don't think you will. Unless does the DLC expire on August 6th, or is it just the start of the sale?
No, August 6th is when the DLC starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So August 6th
Yeah,
is
and I was
when
just
the
wondering, like, was
DLC.
it straight up DLC or like just a one-time drop? But if it's not a one-time drop, then that's perfect.
Yeah, because the 4 playable characters and the 48 character costumes all come out on August 6th. So if you win the giveaway, you are still incentivized to finish Rave Master. And if you do, you get the DLC. If you don't win the giveaway, then you're incentivized but to finish Rave Master by the game. And we're gonna have King quiz you a bit. Make sure you did read the chapters and not just went, oh yeah, let me just skim to the final chapters and say
Let
that
me
I
go
read
read
it.
the synopsis on Google.
No, you're just gonna go to the wiki or something.
He's gonna be like, "Who is Haru Glory?"
So Haru is the main character.
I see. I was gonna do this with King, but he doesn't have the appropriate gaming equipment, so it wouldn't. He just, yeah, it wouldn't work.
I mean, there's plenty of other stuff you could buy me online. I mean, not that it'd be appropriate, but
I was gonna say something so inappropriate. Never mind. I'm gonna
Hey, the
drop it.
man's honest.
No, I know. I appreciate the honesty, but I was gonna say something inappropriate that'll gotten us demonetized. Just kidding. We're not even monetized. Um, but yeah, Dev, that is your mission. You have a goal, and I guarantee you, these goddamn character skins are gonna be expensive as shit because they always do this bullshit. Look at Dead or Alive with their $100 skins just because. Jesus,
did you ever play Dead or Alive with the fairy tale skins?
I never ever played Dead or Alive.
Oh, never mind then.
I saw the trailer for it. It looked cool.
I mean, the skins looked pretty good.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, they were actually accurate, and I actually thought the designs were cute for the girls, and then the guys look cool. Yeah.
Alright, where did I save Rave Master?
And yeah, okay. So anyway, since King cannot talk Eden Zero with us, Dev, I will let you introduce what we went through with Eden Zero, chapter 104 and 103.
Okay, so let me just.
So,
Cool.
Dev, go ahead and talk about the synopsis for chapters 102 and 1. No, I'm sorry.
103,
103. Yeah, 103, 104 of Rave
Eden Zero.
Master. No, yeah.
Eden Zero.
Yes, I know.
So,
I know.
103, Clash of Cosmos. We got Weiss, Weiss, Wiz on the front cover. Quite a nice little bit of art, actually. I'm enjoying these front covers. It starts off, like, remember from the last chapter, Ziggy did some shit, blew up the planet, fucked everything up, made Pino question her life, and now they're in the Ziggy is in Eden's 1, and they are in Eden 0. So we've got what looks like to be a bit of an aerial battle. I feel like this is why Andrew should be reading it, because this is literally Star Wars. With a little bit of back and forth with the stars, the shining stars, and Ziggy saying, "Oh, what happened to you? This isn't what you were like." A lot of them are trying to make him realize that, this is never what you wanted, to rule over mankind. And then we saw the dark stars before. We get them to talk a little bit. When they realize that one of them is missing, one of the shining stars is missing, that one obviously being Valkyrie. And they're like, oh, she's definitely dead. So that's confirmed. And we see Captain Connor. A lot of people are saying he's evil in this time. We can see he's not. You can see that he was only actually following it because he believed in the ideals of Ziggy, and he's actually quite reluctant to attack Eden Zero because there's women and children on it. You don't care about the dudes, or dudes, two dudes. You
No,
can
there's
see
three.
he's quite three.
Jin,
Oh yeah,
Weiss,
Jin's there.
and
So you
so
can see he's quite reluctant.
disrespectful. Go, yeah,
Sorry,
he does.
gosh. So you can see he's definitely not evil. He's kind of just in this position where he doesn't agree with it, but he's kind of stuck where he is now. He can't not go with what they were doing. And a little bit more back and forth where the Dark Stars kind of say to him, come on, Captain Connor. They're hardly anything worth it. Let's just do it. And you can see Captain Connor reluctantly say aye, and just get on with it. And the battle starts. Eden's 1 starts firing off laser beams.
Mhm.
So I assume pew pew. And it completely shatters, goes straight through the shields of Eden Zero. I mean, we've seen how strong Eden Zero shields are. And
Yeah, so
it goes through it like it's nothing.
It completely you see how overwhelming and how overwhelmed the Eden Zero is compared to this freaking military style type ship that's just destroying everything they have.
Yeah. We Eden Zero is shown to be a very, very powerful ship, even when it wasn't at its full capacity. And Eden's one just really just ignores it. It's like it's not even there. That's how powerful it is. And the entire crew is like, our shields aren't strong enough. It's not dealing with it, and they need to start taking evasive maneuvers. What I like is Shiki actually. They kind of say to him like, "Come on, Shiki, what do we do? Give an order." And Shiki was like, "You know what? Fuck it." He doesn't hesitate too much. He's like, "Fuck it, start the attack. We'll do it." Once we get the chance that they're gonna try and escape, and they try and fire back. Eden's one doesn't even take any damage by the looks of it at all.
Nope, it looks like it tickled.
And then they've got unmanned missiles to start firing. They try and intercept it, but there's just so many of them that it just gets to a point where they can't even keep up. And the funny thing that made me laugh is Connor was like deploying these small battle drones. Something told me that man's gonna have big battle drones. We're gonna have droidicas out here. And then as the small B drones start making their way, we've got one of the dark shining stars on his way to deal with them himself, by himself. So he's going up to the entire ship, the entire of Eden Zero, by himself, confidently, and uses an attack Divine Lightning just to get rid of any and all obstacles in his way at ease. The dude's not even struggling. And you can see the crew realize it. The crew are like, oh.
It's just depressing how inferior the Eden Zero actually is.
I mean, with it being an actual, the prototype, you can really, it's really actually, like you said, it's showing it. It's putting out that this is definitely the prototype. We're definitely the better ones. And the dude coming along himself, I mean, he didn't hesitate to challenge the entire ship. I don't think there's anyone on our side that would do the same thing. No, I don't think any of them would go out against Eden's one by themselves.
I don't think they could, even if they wanted to.
Exactly. And then Ziggy kind of just like, all right, I'm bored. Fire the big boom cannon, the Starbringer, and fires it. And we've got Rebecca trying her best to activate her Cat Leaper. Now,
trying, but
that made me think quite a bit. If she had activated it there, and then would she have gone into the next timeline? Is that its main limit? Is that his main thing? If she used it right there, would she gone into the next timeline and then?
Well, don't forget she also used it when she was with Weiss, and she moved back and forth with speed.
That's true, actually. So, how was she going to use it to affect the ship? Because I feel like even if she used it on herself, I don't really know what she would have done. Still on the ship, ship's still going to get banged out.
I think it showed us that she still has a ways to go with the fact that she couldn't even activate it at all.
That's true. It shows that she's not exactly in full control of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, all of a sudden, what would have destroyed them just gets obliterated, and we see our girl, Elsie, come out of nowhere with the Skull Fairy. She completely obliterated the bees. Obviously, it wasn't too hard of a task, but it definitely showed that she came in clutch and was able just to eradicate those pretty quickly, very easily as well.
And she is one of the Oración 6 Galáctica.
The pirate, I think they call her the pirate lot. She's
The
the Crimson
dreaded.
Pirate.
Mm-hmm. So she's some shit if she's one of the Oración 6. Cause wasn't Joe one of the Oración 6? Pretty sure he was.
I think so. I'm blanking on that. I'll be honest with you. I think he was. They fire the Starbringer. It gives, with the bees being taken out, it gave Eden Zero a chance to dodge the Starbringer. And by the looks of it, if they didn't dodge, they would have been done for. And we see Elsie have a little bit of a, I don't want to say an emotional moment, but the realization of where she says, Ziggy, I never dreamed it would come to this. Your ship, Shiki, you love them both so much. And Ziggy actually acknowledges her strength.
He's like, I'm out.
He
literally.
This ain't our business. Yo, we'll come back. Let's go. And he leads, and he really doesn't. He doesn't have any hesitation with it. I'm out. I'm not dealing about it because he knows it's not really worth it at this time. And she then boards the ship. So 103 for me, I quite enjoyed the chapter. Quite a lot happened. We saw just how powerful one of the, well, not even how powerful. We saw a simple feat that is capable of the one of the dark stars that none of our stars could do, in my opinion.
So we have Ziggy destroying a planet. We have his dark stars creating lightning and comets and all this shit with his lightning staff. So we're seeing how ridiculously powerful and how overwhelmed the 4 shining stars and the Eden Zero crew are, which makes me believe even more that Jin and his sister will join the crew, because I just don't see them leaving and being like, yeah, we were almost killed by this guy, but yeah, it's cool, we're gonna go now. I'm also, like you said, this chapter had it all. I really loved the design of the space battle, even if it was kind of Eden's 1 destroying the Eden 0.
Yeah, it was a landslide.
I cannot wait to see that animated, and I hope the animation group does a very good job with it, because I feel like it's something new and something different from Mashima. So I hope we see that again in the future. But yeah, I'm still curious as to why Elsie has a fucking eye patch. But maybe we'll learn more later on. So that was chapter 103. Chapter 104 is the woman they called pirates. So in typical Mashima fashion, we have some fan service moments in the beginning. All the girls are naked in the spa.
And the front cover is Homer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I know she's one of your best girls. Yeah. Front cover is Homura, and then the next few pages, the next 4 or 5 pages are just nothing but fan service. If I'm being honest. Yeah, there's some exposition there where Homura is basically getting, um, fucking owned by Elsie and her toe, but
that was
nothing.
nuts.
That was nuts, because you see Homura being like, "All right, I'll fight you. I got my sword in here." Elsie just puts the sword between her toes and just takes it away from her like nothing. It's like, damn, son.
With no effort at all.
She's like, "Look, I'm just trying to enjoy this spa, and you're interrupting my spa time."
Um, it, the thing is, that's a very Urza thing to do as well. So I like that what they did there. It really emphasized that Elsie is this really powerful character that we've now been able to actually see in more of a light. And it's exciting. I'm excited to see how powerful she is as a combat person, as opposed to just a what's the word? Commander of a ship.
I hope it translates because I feel like she's a great commander, but I hope her fighting style and her fighting abilities are just as great. Because it would kind of suck if you, oh yeah, she's a great leader and all this, but then they kind of ass at fighting and it's like, eh. But if she did that with her toes, then I fully expect her to be able to do some shit on the battlefield. Um, then after these moments, we transition over to the cockpit of the Eden Zero, essentially, and we have Elsie give us a bit of backstory between her and Ziggy.
Now, with that,
We have.
with Ziggy,
Mhm.
I'm enjoying seeing bit by bit of what we're learning from him, and I like the fact that it's not just all getting thrown at us at once. I like learning it slowly, and it's definitely something that I think Mashima is doing very well in Eden Zero, where he's not just piling on a shit ton of character info, development, and content in one go. We're learning it slowly, so it's easier to digest. It's easier to actually understand it, and you're not forgetting anything. And you're learning it slowly to the point where you feel that you're you're growing with the team as they learn. So as Shiki's team learn about him, you're learning. So you feel more part of the squad. Fairy Tale did the same kind of thing. Fairy Tale was a very good at making you feel like you're part of the guild, even though it's just a show. You still felt like you're part of it. That's what Mashman's doing here with Shiki and the gang. You're learning about them as they do. It's not just random flashback. Obviously, it's happened a few times, but like with the evil characters, like Ziggy, you're learning about him as they learn about him. It's not all of a sudden out of nowhere. I love the setup of the room with the whole holographic thing, and we get Elsie's backstory where she was a refugee made homeless by war, and she was aimlessly wandering the cosmos.
Yeah.
And
So it's kind of interesting that she kind of has a similar backstory to most of Mashima's main characters, where they are either orphaned or abandoned, and they just end up becoming these great characters overall.
it's been done excellently. I mean, as you carry on, you see Elsie talk more about what Ziggy said to her. The last thing he said to me was one day that you would set that Shiki would set out into space, and he wanted me to give you the ship, and that's what we saw. I can't remember what chapter it was, but that's what we saw when he got Eden Zero. I mean, we also Elsie turn up and we're like, is she evil? Who's this? And then she's like, oh, here's a ship. Bye. And then she left.
She didn't she like turn into a skull or something?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it kind of traumatized me.
And the four shining stars also then said, oh, that's where we went our separate ways. And they were like, oh, this is where we go into sleep as well, and moved on. So it's given us more of an indication, we already knew what happened to the four shining stars, that we know that they all already went their separate ways. That's something we already knew. But it's nice that they revisit that, because it reminds us that at one time, Elsie, the four stars, and Ziggy were all, they're all a team. Elsie wasn't just someone on the side; she was actually part of the gang back then. Even though she was a kid, she's still there. And this was 10 years ago, I think. 10 years ago. So Elsie's not that old. If she was a kid when she met Ziggy, I want to say she's probably like 18, 20. Around about there.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's the average age for a Mashima character, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And for her to have the feats and the accomplishments that she has at that age, I think is very impressive. And it really does show the kind of skill that she has. And it shows Ziggy himself mentions that, you are the one that I know I can trust to give the ship to him when the time is right. And she was really young when he told her that. And she did it. So it shows Ziggy really knew what he was doing. And it shows that he really paid attention to character, especially the ones that he raised or the ones that he looked after, should I say.
Yep, very true, very true.
We then see Pino talk about this. They talk about Space Pod, about how they got to Granbo, about Pino taking it and going to Norma, but she doesn't remember because her memories are gone. I'm really excited for her memories to come back because I feel like there's going to be a lot of shit that we find out.
Dude, you don't.
There's going to be so much good shit. So they cut back to talking about Ziggy. So after she gave the ship to Shiki, she tried to go back to Granbo and to tell him, yo, I kept your promise. And she sensed what wasn't Ziggy's original ether. It was a different kind of ether. So I think it's safe to say at this point that the Ziggy of this time was the same as Ziggy. There's the same Ziggy as what we had before. Not the exact same one. What I mean is, the guy wasn't evil. He was quite, he was a good person, very lovely, caring, and did what he did to get rid of Shiki because he cared about him. And the virus, was as opposed to being a normal virus against machines, it clearly caused a complete reboot of his, I want to say, morals, his moral.exe code, and given this dark evil ether. Elsie could sense it, like instantly.
Yeah.
And then she put a little fairy drone. And once Ziggy had actually awakened, that fairy drone kind of told Elsie to make her way. And that's why she turned up in the nick of time. The thing that is great, the end of the chapter, is what Ziggy said when he woke up. The very first thing he said when he woke up was, "I will go see Mother."
I'm intrigued because there's so little we know about Mother, but the little we get, it's like, holy shit.
We don't know if she's a robot. We don't know if she's a human, or what she is. We don't even know if she's real. Like
that is true.
Theoretically, we don't. I mean, apart from we've seen panels of it, but we've never actually seen the character. And so he says, "I will go see Mother." What is he after? Is he like Frieza and he wants an extra, like, what was it? A few inches on his height? Or is it like Bulma, he wants like a year on his age? Is he actually after something really effective is the word I'm looking for. I actually haven't even got a theory for what he could be wishing for. I mean, there's the basic simple things of destroy humans, but like, I don't know. I feel that's too boring and plain for Mashima.
But we don't even know if she will grant any wish whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
We know Mother exists because Zhao Mei or whatever her name.
Yeah.
She basically confirmed because she's all knowing and all this shit. But we don't know if Mother will grant every single wish ever. So it's intriguing. Go on, continue. Sorry, I'm just fascinated with.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that that's the first thing he said, something tells me whatever the virus that recoded him, right, it's not Ziggy acting. It's someone acting through Ziggy. Think like someone's hacked your computer and they're doing everything for you. That kind of thing.
Okay, that's fair, but I don't think this But Ziggy was the one who created the Eden's 1 and the 4 Dark Stars before he had the virus.
Did he create it before, or
He,
did we know that for
well,
definite, or is that what we're
I
assuming?
mean, think about it. Ziggy was dead, and then when he came back, he activated the drones, the 4 stars that were in the Eden's 1. Those were already there. The Eden's 1 was already created. So his virus was after he had created the Eden's 1. Because remember, Connor took over for the Eden's 1 until Ziggy needed him out of loyalty or whatever nonsense Connor said that he believed in his manifesto. But point still stands, or his point is still that those those robots were still there already. Get me?
That's true. Okay, yeah, I get you. That's true. But was his
Why?
intention?
Well, yeah, exactly. We don't know what his intention was, but we do know that he had created 4 other stars and created another ship, but we don't know why. Now, we could speculate, but maybe Pino knows in her memories of why Ziggy created it, but Pino got to learn that shit because it's fascinating.
It is. I'm excited for where it's gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go with the someone has hacked him, and it's. I mean, we've seen hackers in the world already. We've got Hermit. We
Mm-hmm.
had that guy who was taking over the Digitalis world.
Spider.
Yep. And then we've got what's it? Amira. Amira, is it?
No, Mira. Yeah, boy, yeah, kind of, yeah.
She has some kind of skill. You know, she's obviously not adept to it, but you know, we've seen hackers in the world. I have a feeling it's going to be something along those lines. Someone has hacked Ziggy, and the Dark Stars are following him because of Ziggy. They don't know that it's not him. If you know what I mean. So I don't really. There's a lot. I'm starting to see like come up with my own thoughts outside of that where it could lead to. So I'm excited for it because it means that I'm hoping it's not going to be as obvious as I'm making it out to be. And with Mashima, I don't think it will be.
I just. How long did he have this virus for? Was it after he died or was it before?
We don't know.
That's the problem, because if it was after, then why the fuck would he create these replacements for the ship and the stars? It's got me
What if he
scratching
had
my
the
head.
virus before? What if he had the virus before he sent Shiki off, right? And the real reason he sent Shiki off was because he knew the virus was going to start taking over. So he sent Shiki off right, before the virus could completely take over
But
his
Shiki
mindset.
lived in that world for a while, remember?
Yeah, but at any point in that time, let's just say he lived on Granbell for 18 years. Yeah, let's just say that. Any time in that 18 years is when that virus could have been put in. At any point, any time. It could have been when Cheeky was 8. It could have been when Cheeky was 15. It could have been when he was like 16 or
We
17.
we need a chart of this shit.
That's the thing. So we don't know when the virus was put in. If it could have been put in at any time before he died, but it didn't activate straight away. You know, kind of like for to activate a virus in a computer, you got to run the executable. Did he accidentally open a file in his head and then that's why he got rid of Shiki? So before it could get too late. And then let's say he got the virus 2 years before, right? And the virus would sometimes take over, and that's when he worked on the Dark Stars and Eden's 1. But then he would kind of go back to normal Ziggy.
But
And then,
Shiki would know, because when Elsie went to the planet, Ziggy was dead. He had this dark ether, yes, but he was dead. He wasn't
yeah, but
operating or
what if the
nothing.
Dark Ether only showed itself after he had died and rebooted.
But he didn't reboot
Or
until
not
the
rebooted,
last
but
chapter we saw.
what if he
We
was
saw
rebooting?
if he was rebooting, he wouldn't have had chance to create. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is, we don't know if he had rebooted like
We
only
we,
last
we
chapter or had he been
I,
rebooted for a while.
we need to, and I hope Mashima does this soon. We need to know why he created these other four and this replacement ship, because if we find out his intention, and let's say his intention was just to have more help when he's searching for Mother, right?
Like have a
Then
double
we know,
team.
yeah. So his intentions would have been good, would have been pure. So the virus wasn't the reason he created them. But if his intention was, I want to replace these inferior models because they're not gonna help me, and obviously that's not necessarily evil, but in Mashima's universes, that's usually negative and like something bad, right? Then that would kind of be the manifestation of the virus. But again, if we find out his intention for them, I feel like we're gonna know if he had the virus or not when he made him. Because Shiki was in the planet his whole life until Rebecca came. And when Rebecca came, Ziggy was already dead. Ziggy had died long before Rebecca showed up. And the robots were playing a part to help fulfill Ziggy's wish of sending Shiki to space so he could have friends and fulfill his journey. So I there's a lot.
Yeah, there's
There's
so much that
a
can happen. There's so much, and I'm excited for what he's going to do. Like I said, he's not one to do the most basic, borderline, predictable stuff too often. I
yeah,
guess.
and then
Um,
and then the chapter we didn't finish talking about the entire chapter, but the chapter essentially ends with Shiki saying we're gonna go find Mother, and it essentially ends the arc that we were in because now they're going to Dragonfall, and you just see all these stars and all these comets around the ship, and Shiki piloting the ship forward. It's a beautiful panel. So I'm interested to see where this next arc is gonna take us because damn, is there some shit going on, you know?
a lot's going to happen. I like the fact that Shiki isn't struggling. Okay, no, let me put it this way: he doesn't seem to be struggling too much with all the information he's finding out. Right? He understands that Ziggy. This isn't the Ziggy that he knows. He understands that there isn't time to mope about it. He's just got to get on with it. He's let's just go. Let's go stop him. We're gonna deal with it, and then we'll sort out the problem after. Let's like throw punches now, ask questions later, kind of situation.
Yeah,
It's showing the mature side of him. You know, something that we haven't seen that often of Shiki.
it's
Um,
just it's just I like this arc. I'm calling it an arc because from chapter 100 to chapter 104, this entire arc is essentially, even if it's 5 chapters, it was about Granbell, the fate of Granbell, and Ziggy's reawakening. So I kind of like how we went from Draken Joe, who we thought was this intimidating, powerful force, who ended up being a tentacle monster, to Ziggy, who we see is like an actual threat and is like he's not messing around. If he will kill you, or he will make sure you're like not an issue, if you will. So I'm kind of fascinated by it.
and then we see Graham Bell.
Yeah,
It says, "I want to know what the wish. I know what I want to wish for. I don't know if she can do it, but Graham Bell's a mess. I want her to be put back the way it was." That tells me there, my man Ziggy's planetary, bruv.
oh, I don't get into power level shit.
Not, I don't either. I don't necessarily either, but it's more of a case of, like it's just I don't know about Rave Master, but Fairy Tail we never saw a planetary level character. I don't think we didn't see
uh,
someone that could destroy a whole planet. Or did
Well,
we?
Irene essentially destroyed the entire Earthland by making it so small that the capital was walking distance.
Okay, I can get on board with that. I can get on board with that. So okay, other than that, this is the first time we've seen someone obliterate a planet.
I mean, Urza kind of destroyed a comet, a very giant comet.
Yeah, but it's not a planet. A planet is a lot more dense than a comet. I think.
No, I mean,
I think
like I said, I'm not trying to argue
yeah,
these power level things. I'm just giving you examples of things I remember off
yeah.
the top of my head.
But like
Yeah,
you know, this entire planet's gone. So now we know that Ziggy's. I would argue probably one of the strongest villains that we've encountered, and then Eden Zero is the strongest person we've encountered for sure.
oh yeah, easily and
For a
easy.
fact that he was able to destroy the planet, and it looked like he did it with these. I mean, I
He
think
was
he waved his arm and it was gone.
he wasn't trying. He just he pressed down. He's like, all right, we good. I'm just chilling. I'm just
Yeah,
stretching here.
waved his arm, it was gone. And
So
it's very interesting that we've got that level of power because to me, no one on Eden Zero is near that power. No one's near that level. But we can only see how it goes. This is where
I wonder if Shiki fully developed in the sense of like fighting and combat could
we've
do
got the
that.
same ether gear as Ziggy. So
Yeah, and I want to know how he transferred that ether gear, or how he would see. There's so little we know about ether gear, and I know we've made comparisons to Fairy Tail before, but in Fairy Tail, you were trained by a dragon to have Dragon Slayer magic, or you had a lacrima of a dragon implanted in you,
and
or
that wasn't
you had
hidden.
both.
That was kind
Yeah,
of given to you pretty early on as well.
and then with ether gear, we really don't know much because not everybody has ether gear.
The most we know is that you can awaken it because we've seen it with Rebecca and she did it by flipping lying in water.
Yeah, so I want to
So
know how.
nothing that we
I
know. We don't know enough at all.
I want to know how you're able to transfer the power or the ether gear because it could be a game changer.
And
Cause yeah,
it will be a game changer. I think once we learn that, we'll be able to piece a lot more together. The rest of the chapter is just Shiki and the gang going, all right, we're going to go do it. Let's do this. And then Pino's like,
yeah,
oh, I see it. Dragonfall. Once we make it through there, we'll be in outer space.
yeah. Like I said, that panel felt like it was the end of the arc and the start of a new one. So
Yeah.
I'm fucking fascinated by this shit. There's so much lore to Eden Zero that could be expanded upon. So much more than Fairy Tail ever had. So I'm fascinated by that.
Let's just hope
I,
he does it justice and actually develops it properly and it doesn't become a quick paced development. I don't think it will. It's not looking like that.
No, I think he. I'm not saying other mangaka and other artists or authors don't care about their fandom, but I feel like he cares a little too much because he tries to make sure that everybody is enjoying it. And I mean, he's doing something completely different, but at the same time, he's trying to give you that nostalgia feeling for Fairy Tail and Rave Master. So I feel like he said in one of his afterwards, he's trying to find that perfect balance. And I feel like this is the perfect balance. Do I think it'll reach Fairy Tail numbers or Fairy Tail levels? No. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. Because Fairy Tail is like lightning in a bottle. Even for Mashima, he didn't think it was going to last past Phantom Lord. And it became one of the best selling mangas of all time. So I don't think it'll do better than Fairy Tail, but at the same time, I think it is his best series. And he has 3 amazing series with Rave Master, with Fairy Tail, and now with Eden Zero. So it's not a bad career for Mashima. and I don't know if he'll continue after Eden Zero, but I think he will, because he's got so many stories to tell that I don't think he's afraid to tell.
I think Mashima, like you said, he's planning this series out. I think it's gonna do great. I think he's gonna just keep getting better and better. That's how it is to me. It's getting better and better with each arc.
Yeah, definitely. And we should have said this at the beginning of the discussion. You could read Eden Zero on Comixology, on Crunchyroll, on what are the other legal sites?
ReadEdenZero.com.
Legal. So yes, so legal sites where you could officially support the author by essentially making the purchase or by being a subscriber would be Crunchyroll and Comixology. You could also read the chapters on Read It in Zero. It's a great site. It has all the volumes, all the chapters, which again, me and Dad recommend you read because the series is just incredible. Sorcerer Weekly has them, but those are a fan translation. So if you want the officials, you got Comixology, Crunchyroll, and Read It Eden Zero.
And your local comic book store, support them.
Yes, and if you want print, your local comic book store or Amazon, but those are in volumes, so you would have to wait a bit longer for those, but they're great.
I think that's really it.
That's really it. Anything you want to add before we close out? I know King had to leave because we were having technical difficulties with Craig. Fucking Craig. So King's
Craig's
not
a little
here.
bit difficult every now and then, but I can still stick around to the end if I have to.
There you go. He's back. I was just teasing. So anything you guys want to add before we close?
We covered everything we need to do. And also, I've got about 15 minutes before my sister gets my house. She has arrived.